Let's have a look. Let's have a look who's in the comments. Say, Cason's in. How are you, Cason? Kyle, how are you, pal? Yeah, what a result for Leicester in the FA Cup. Hello, Dave. How are you, my friend? Hello, Eddie. Right then, let's get my guest in, Mr. Football Martin. How are you, my friend?
I'm right, Jack. How you doing, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, all right, mate. Not too bad. Just recovering from last night's defeat at Anfield, but out of the cup, which is not a most horrific thing for us right now. Just think we need to focus on the league. So FA Cup is all over for my team, and yeah, 12 games remain, Jack. It's coming to an end. We don't have long left.
Yeah, how you been, Martin? It's been a couple of weeks since we've had you on. How you been doing?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's been a bit of a rocky patch for Southampton though. We went 25 games unbeaten in all competitions, and things were looking fairly rosy. And we've hit a little bit of a bump in the road, which was always going to happen. I think it does happen, but it's how you respond to those bumps in the road, Jack, which is really important. And we have a massive game this weekend against Birmingham City at St Andrews, and we have to respond. I don't think any of us expected us to win last night against Liverpool, but we certainly did expect to win against Millwall at St Mary's on Saturday. We didn't get that. It was two defeats in a week at St Mary's for Southampton. So it's a really big 12 games coming up for Russell Martin and his Southampton side. But one thing I do want to touch upon this evening, if you don't mind me saying so, is
Go
one of
on.
the Southampton players this afternoon had to deactivate his social media account due to hate that he was given on social media. Will Smallbone, Southampton midfielder, come on in the 69th minute for Southampton last night, and he was subject to some torrid abuse on X, formerly known as Twitter, and he's deactivated his account. And it was probably off of one message that was put out last night, and it was horrific, Jack. I've seen some nasty things put on social media, but boy, I'm flabbergasted what I read this morning when I woke up. Absolutely shocking the way that people speak to people on social media and think it's acceptable, and it's absolutely not. So I did want to touch upon that.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying, Martin. There's all right saying things to players with disagreeing of how they play and this, that, and the other, but then there's some
Mm.
people who take it over the line, and
Yep.
it's ridiculous, to be honest. It shouldn't be happening. Yeah, I fully agree with what you're saying. Martin, talk to me about week 34. Ipswich won, didn't they, against Birmingham?
Mm.
Southampton lost to Millwall. Leeds and Leicester went at it on the Friday night football. Leicester ended up losing 3 goals to 1 at Ellen Road.
God, what a game! What a game!
Um, West Brom ended up drawing with Hull City in the playoff spots. Coventry ended up getting, you could say, mulled at home by Preston North End. I
Mm.
mean, things are starting to what up now, aren't they, Martin? With 12 games to go, what was your thoughts on the results in week 34 with the whole playoffs and promotion pushes?
Really enjoyed the Leeds and Leicester game. I got to say, it was a real thrilling game, wasn't it? Thought Leicester played really well. Actually, a lot of people said, "Oh, disappointed that in Leicester," but I thought actually Leicester played really, really well. I thought it was. I got harshly. I said it were lucky goals, really. Two deflected goals, weren't they? Really, Leicester
Yeah,
had total control on the game. Really, just didn't take their chances. Take their chances, and they win the game, and the league's all over. But fair play to Leeds. They hung on in there. They're a good side. The fans got behind them. You were inside Ellen Road, so you know exactly what it was like there. But from Sky TV watching it, it looked like the fans become the 12th man. Bit of a cliche in football, and boy, it's a massive result for Leeds. I think it pretty much confirms that they're finished without. I don't think they've got a tough run in really at all. I think that they get that second spot now. I think Southampton losing the two games in a week. The Millwall defeat was massive. It was a huge defeat for Southampton. It was a game you didn't expect them to win, a game that they had to win. They didn't win it, and it gives Leeds a hell of an opportunity to grab second now. Will they push Leicester for the top spot? I still think that Leicester have too much, and I think momentum will keep them going. Looking at other fixtures last week in the Championship, I was obviously watching closely at what QPR did. Southampton were losing to Millwall at the time, but QPR did get the win they needed. They needed that win. They put themselves in a hell of a chance in staying up now. I did speak to Asmir Begovic, the goalkeeper, today, actually. and he said they take each game as it comes, and he said the manager's doing a fantastic job, and they stick together and they're focused on what they've got to do. They won't look around them too much and look over their shoulders. They'll keep focusing on themselves, and yeah, they've given themselves a really good chance of staying up.
Yeah, Ipswich, I mean, the love a late goal, don't they, the Tractor boys? I mean, another late goal for them. They did manage to quite comfortably beat Birmingham, though, second half, to be honest. Ipswich have started to pick up form again, haven't they, at the right time in the season? I think Kiefer Moore's been quite effective, hasn't he, Martin? Like we spoke about when he has joined Ipswich. Connor Chaplin, you know what you're going to get from him, a real influential player, should I put it, on that Ipswich squad. Broadhead starting to score as well again. Then you look at Hull, West Brom, Coventry, Preston, Norwich. I mean, all these teams now are fighting for that playoffs, aren't they, Martin, for promotion back to the Premier League. What was your thoughts on Norwich's game and the West Brom game and Coventry's game?
Yeah, it's certainly hot enough for playoff spaces. I still think there's only 2 spots available, in my opinion. So I think it'll be a battle for those final 2 spots. I think Southampton and Ipswich will be there. My gut feeling that they won't drop out of it. It would take something drastically to go wrong with either side not to be in those playoff positions. I think there's no doubt that you would say Norwich would have a bit of a push, but needed to beat Blackburn. They didn't. They drew with Blackburn, who are having a bit of a resurgence under John Eustace. They'd be fine under John Eustace, you would say. Watching their performance against Newcastle in midweek in the FA Cup, I thought they played really, really well. Great account of themselves, you've got to say. So they're right in amongst it. Coventry, big defeat for them at Preston. Preston are finding a bit of form. People are not talking about Preston. They had that good start to the season. They're hovering, Jack. They could be thereabouts, and they could make a little charge for the playoffs. But it was a big defeat for Coventry. They've been in some really good form. Those obviously got a good result in midweek in the FA Cup. But they'll be looking to bounce back this weekend as well. And then Hull drew 1-1 with West Brom, didn't they? Good result for Hull. Very, very good side, Jack. Hull, they're going to be a real threat for any side that have got to play them between now and the end of the season. They'll be a playoff side in my opinion. You have Ant on the channel quite a lot. I had a pleasure of seeing them down here at St Mary's last week, and they're outstanding. They're a very, very, very good side.
Yeah, the relegation battle, Martin, that's starting to heart up as well, isn't it? If you look at it, 15th to 22nd, I think it's 5 points. I mean, how close is that and how tight is that going to be now in the next 12 games?
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a run-in, isn't it? Like I was talking about QPR, wasn't I, just then? And I think that they're giving themselves a real good chance in getting out of it. Sheffield Wednesday keep getting results. Stoke have been massively dragged into it as expected. Huddersfield are picking up points, but big game for Birmingham the weekend. They'll be looking to get points on the board. You say anyone up to Plymouth really in 15th could get sucked into it. There's not loads of points in it really, but you say sort of 40 points down from 15th. They're all in it. There's some big clubs in there. Swansea are well in that that fight to stay up. Really, I've not been impressed when I've seen them. They've been rolled over by sides quite easily at times, and I'll be a little bit concerned about them falling right into it as well. But yes, a big team could go down here, Jack. There's no doubt big clubs will get relegated this season. When you look at you'd be unforgiving, wouldn't it, for Stoke City to get relegated, to go out of this league would be incredible. Would be absolutely incredible. But somebody big will get sucked in. I think QPR will get out of it, Jack. I've got a feeling they've got a run of fixtures coming up. Get this weekend out of the way. They've got a couple of tough games, but they've got a little run of fixtures and they play everybody around them. I would say what they've done since this manager come in, if they'd had him at the start of the season, they would have been absolutely fine.
Yeah, QPR picked up a big win, didn't they? So did Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday really starting to perform under Danny Röhl, aren't they? Since that defeat to Leicester, they're really starting to pick up them crucial points. Rotherham still remain to struggle. They are starting to score goals, though, aren't they, Rotherham United? Maybe it's a little bit too late for them, you could say, but Yeah, it's an interesting one with actually what's going to happen. I mean, 7 teams, 15 to 22nd, they've all got to play each other over the next coming weeks. It's going to be interesting to who will be down in that relegation zone by the end of it, Martin. The championship always brings real entertainment, doesn't it, Martin? Because with a championship, it's very unpredictable.
Yeah, it's Jack. It's so unpredictable. I think Jurgen Klopp went on to speak about it in his press conference when he was building up towards their game against Southampton last night. He said he watches the Championship a lot, and he said that he couldn't believe the intensity that these teams play at and that the quality of football. And you got Leicester and Southampton and Ipswich looking to play a really good style of football. You know, they're playing good football, aren't they? They want to do it on their terms, and it's a really competitive league. You know, Millwall go down to Southampton last week and get a result. It's unbelievable, isn't it? You know, anything can happen, Jack. You know, you can't take any game for granted. Leeds go to Huddersfield at the weekend. That everything is a banker win. I'll tell you what, Huddersfield are a really good side, well organised under a new manager. They're changed tack. You just never know. There'll be upsets, mate. There'll be twists and there'll be turns between now and the end of the season. And it'll be very, very interesting.
And Leicester Southampton, Martin, the big game at the King Power has now been moved. It will be moved, rescheduled. We're not going to be meeting in the next few weeks, Martin, to be honest with you, but we'll meet in the near future, whenever the date is. But yeah, Leicester did go on and beat Bournemouth. A real top goal by Abdul Fattah in the FA Cup to send the Foxes through in extra time. Southampton fell short, didn't they, Martin, last night against Liverpool?
Yeah, very young Liverpool side as well. They had a lot of injuries, didn't they? Had a lot of players out, but Southampton didn't feel the strongest of 11s, to be fair. He rested a lot of players with the weekend in mind. It was obviously full focus is on going to St Andrews at the weekend. So we did rest some players. I thought that we put a really good account of ourselves in for about 65 minutes. If we take our chances, we win the game, but you've got to take your chances when you go to somewhere like Anfield. Sekou Mara has 2 really good chances to score. Kamaldeen Sulemana has a really good chance. He hits the post. And sometimes it's about end product and a bit of confidence. Didn't take our chances and you do get punished. We're out the cup, unfortunately, but it's onwards and upwards. Leeds are out the cup now as well after their defeat last night at Stamford Bridge. You know, again, really put in a good performance. Is that true? Is that when it's going to be, the Leicester game on the 19th?
No, I think he's just speculating, Martin. He's just rumouring, because when we played Swansea and that game got moved, I think that was down to the FA Cup and that. We ended up scheduling it for the Tuesday after the weekend. So
in April,
who knows? You'd imagine so.
Don't want it on the 19th of March. It's my birthday, Carl, that day. So hopefully it's not on the 19th of March.
Martin travelling to Leicester with his birthday cake hat on. Right then, guys, we're going to get on to the championship predictions. If you've enjoyed the stream so far, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe to Football Martin as well. I will put his link in the description. So go and check out all Martin's content. Southampton, if you're a Southampton fan and you're watching this, or you're just a football person in general who just likes to watch football, then yeah, go and check out Martin. Let's get on to the week 35 predictions then, Martin. I believe you've got all the stats ready for us tonight then. We're going to go to the Hawthorns for the Friday night football first game. The West Midlands derby, West Brom versus Coventry City. How do you see this one going, Martin, between West Brom and Cov?
Been interesting one. West Brom, decent at home, aren't they? Obviously got beaten last time out against Southampton, but they will start this round in 5th in the division. They're still in a really good position, aren't they? But they're decent at home. They've only lost 1 of their last 7 at home. West Bromwich have been. They're 1-5 and drawn 1. Head-to-head against Coventry in this decade, keeping clean sheets in both games. They've won 1 and drawn 1. I fancy West Brom in this one. Mark Robins would be happy with their result in midweek. Ellis Sims, mate, he looks a very good player, doesn't he? Finding a bit of form, got a midweek hat-trick, didn't he, for them? So they should go into it a little bit more confident than what they would have done without that FA Cup game. But I do fancy I do fancy West Brom to edge it, mate. I'm going to go with the 2. Actually, Arthur's said that. I think, what did he say? Did he say 2-2 or 2-1? I'm going to go with 2-1. I think he said 2-2.
Yeah, he's on about Leeds. Leeds ended up losing
he's all right,
3-2 in
Leeds.
the cup, didn't they? But
I'm
yeah,
going to go with
he did go 2-2.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2-1 in this one. West Bromwich Albion to edge it for me.
West Brom to win. I'm gonna go.
So
I'll tell
strong
you
at
what,
home.
West Brom's got a good home record, at the Martin, like you say. Coventry will need to really pick up things after that defeat to Preston North End. They won't want that sort of performance again. I think beating Maidstone in the week, though, give them confidence going into this game, having picking up a win in the cup. But I think both teams will score in the game. I'm going to go 2-1 to West Brom. As West Brom, this is like a playoff battling game, isn't it, Martin? These two sides both fighting for the playoffs. It's going to be an interesting one, but to say the least. Quite a lot of 2-1s in there in favour of West Brom. Some have gone Coventry. Dave's gone a draw. Arthur's gone for a draw. The next one, Martin, is the Severn-side derby. Bristol City versus Cardiff City. Battle of the Cities at Ashton Gate. How do you see this one going between Bristol and Cardiff?
It'd be an interesting one to watch. They don't score loads of goals, do they? But their strikers don't for Bristol City. Anyway, Tommy Conway and Rob Dickey are the only 2 players who have recorded at least 3 home goals in this championship season, Jack. So the two front men that are supposed to be scoring loads of goals, not scoring loads of goals. I think it'd be an interesting game. I'm going to probably sit with a draw on this one, mate, to be honest. But Liam Manning, he said his side were nowhere near the level in the defeat to Sheffield Wednesday last time out. Bit of a shock defeat, that one, Jack. I was a bit surprised at that. I didn't talk about that in the build-up, but surprised at that one. Yeah, I do fancy. I'm going to go with a draw, mate, in this one. I'm going to go with a good draw. I'm going to go 2-2.
Yeah, I'm going for a 1-1.
Going to go with 1-1. Are you writing these down, Jack, by the way, for our predictions?
Right, give me a second. So you've gone, what you gone for? 2-2 for the first one.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 for West Bromwich Albion against Coventry. I'm going to go with 2-2 with this one. Haven't got any paper with me, Jack. Otherwise, we'll be writing these down.
That's all right.
Me and Jack are in a predictions league, and we obviously need to keep note of our predictions in this one because I always forget afterwards.
Martin, we're going to go for another derby then. You know which one's coming next? The West Yorkshire derby. Huddersfield versus Leeds. Huddersfield have won a few games as of late, haven't they? They did manage to beat Watford, didn't they, Martin? Ismail getting the sack. Leeds United, 9 games unbeaten now in the league. They go away to a Huddersfield side. I think this will be a tough game for Leeds, to be honest. Leeds will obviously use their quality, won't they, with Somerville, Rutter, Dan James and that, But I think, this Huddersfield game won't be an easy game for Leeds, to be honest. It won't be a walk in the park. I think Huddersfield will go and battle hard against Leeds in this West Yorkshire derby. This one could be a good dinner time kick-off game, Martin, to be honest, between two sides.
Yeah, no, I think it will be, mate. It was a good result for Huddersfield. That they had a good comeback against Watford at the weekend. It will give them a bit of momentum. They looked good at St Mary's when I saw them a couple of weeks ago. If they keep playing fearless, they give anyone a game, I've got to be honest. But like I say, Leeds are in some really, really good form. Leeds have kept just 2 clean sheets across their last 9 jaunts across to West Yorkshire to face Huddersfield. They've won 4, drawn 1, and they've lost 4 as well. Talk about players to watch at the moment. I think Leeds fans would probably agree. A young man that's doing very well at the moment is Archie Gray. He got his first senior goal for the club in that last league outing. It's his last game, wasn't it? It was his first. I didn't realise his first ever league goal. So fair play to him. Hot stat, mate. 23 of Huddersfield's 34 league games. 68% have seen both sides score a joint championship high. I think there'll be goals, mate, in this one.
What's your score prediction for this one, Martin?
Going to go with Leeds 4, Huddersfield 3.
So you went 4-3. Uh, I tell you what, uh, Leeds will have enough to get the game through in this one. I think. I mean, having coming off another in high intensity game against Chelsea, they might be a bit leggy in this one. I think Huddersfield will push them to the limit in this game. I do see them being a high scoring game between the two. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. I think
Yeah, I
Leeds
think they
just
will.
edge it, to be honest. Next one, Martin, we're going to go to the West Midlands. Birmingham
Yeah.
versus Southampton. Your boys, I mean, Saints, 3 defeats in the last 4. How do you see them coming along against the Birmingham side who's won their last 2 at home?
Yeah, it'd be a tough place to go, Jack. That's for sure. I think Southampton might travel slightly better than they. I think they play a little bit better away from home than they might do at home at the moment. There's a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure around St Mary's. I showed you what it was like at St Mary's at the final whistle last weekend. A lot of booing around St Mary's. Not ideal, but you know you'll get a really good loyal following that do travel with any club. And I think the fans will be pivotal in this one. They get right behind the team, and they need to because they're going to need 3 points from this one. We won the reverse fixture 3-1 down at St Mary's in October, and we played all right that day. A lot of possession. I think we had about 78 possession in that game down there, and I just think Russell needs to settle his side down quite quickly now, and we need to just get back to winning ways and start to build momentum as we run into this final part of the season because it's looking like playoffs, Jack. We've been saying that for a while now. I think Southampton will edge it. I think they will get back to winning ways in this one. I do fancy us to nick it. I'm going to go with a 3-2 Southampton win. We do look a little bit fragile at the back at the moment and leaking a few goals, but I do think we'll have enough. Adam Armstrong's due a goal. Shay Adams hopefully plays, and Flynn Downs will be available for Southampton as well. So yeah, big team news if he's in the side. But yeah, going to go with 3-2 Saints.
Birmingham will come and make it tough, won't they, for Saints, for sure.
They
They
will.
won't want the game what they had last time at St Mary's. They'll want to make it difficult for Southampton at St Andrews. Southampton have got to turn their form around, haven't they, Martin? A bit of a sticky patch. To be fair, Birmingham will look to make it 3 wins out of 3 after beating Sunderland and Blackburn in the last 2 home games. I think Southampton for me edge it with Che Adams in this one. Both teams to score for me, 2-1 Southampton.
Yeah, I think they're ready. Hopefully get the 3 points. It's a big weekend, mate.
It is. Talking about a big weekend, Leicester City versus QPR. The league leaders take on QPR, who are just outside the relegation zone, aren't they? Leicester have got to get back to winning ways in the league, haven't they, Martin, to be honest, after defeats to Middlesbrough and Leeds. I think you'd really fancy Leicester in this game. QPR will come and try and minimise Leicester's chances, but Leicester have had quite a lot of chances, haven't they, Martin, in shots over the last 2 games, despite losing to Leeds and Middlesbrough. But I think this one will be a good game between the two sides. You know, QPR will try and come and give it a good go against the Foxes. The Foxes need to win now and then, don't they, Martin, to be honest? QPR fighting for safety, though. I think Leicester, to be fair, will win this quite comfortably, to be honest, in my opinion. I'm going to go 3-0 Leicester.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good game. They don't score a lot on the road, though, QPR. So a few statistics for you. QPR this season have only netted 13 goals on the road this year. It's a joint second fewest in the Championship. So you don't expect them to go there and score loads of goals. They'd have to keep it pretty tight at the back if they're going to get anything out of this one. The only silver lining for QPR fans, you would say, going into this is they've enjoyed some away trips recently. They've lost just 1 in the last 4 games on the road. They're certainly getting better. They're an improving side under Martí Cifuentes. But I do think Leicester will have too much for them. League leaders, they'll be looking, like you say, to bounce back after 2 defeats. I think they will do. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Leicester win.
I think with Leicester, they need as many points as they can now, don't they, Martin, with the 12 games that's left.
Just need to be faultless.
I think
at the end
I
of the
could
season,
agree with
it's
that.
job done. Yeah, just be faultless. It's job done.
Like I say, with a 6-point gap and a better goal difference and that, we've still got that sort of gap, but we've got to keep the gap is what it is. We can't afford to slip up anymore. We've got to go and win the game at the weekend, give it our best. Obviously, having rested Dewsbury Hall and Harry Winks and co on Tuesday night against Bournemouth, I think that'll be key as well. They'll be fresh and raring to go. So, 3-0 for me. A lot of people have gone 2-0 Leicester in the game. Arthur's gone for a draw. Chloe, a Southampton fan's gone 2-0 Leicester. Big games for Leicester coming up, aren't they, Martin?
Yeah, really big games. Really, really big games. Just got to keep winning now. Got some tough fixtures in there as well. I think Southampton do as well. I think out of the teams at the running, I think Southampton probably got the hardest running. I just don't see us sneaking those top 2 spots anyway. I think Leicester's run is not that easy, but I don't see them dropping loads of points, Jack. I just don't. The big game against Southampton will be interesting. See how that one unravels. It could have a big say in where the title goes, that's for sure. But it's going to be 12 cup finals. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Next one, Martin, we're going to the Den. Millwall versus Watford. Millwall, Neil Harris picked up his first win as Millwall boss in his second spell as manager. Watford, though, managerless after Ismail got the sack. How do you see this one going between the Lions and the Hornets?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Neil Harris will bring... he knows the club inside out. I spoke to a few Millwall fans down on the South Coast last week, and they like him. They said he's a legend of the football club. He knows it inside out. He's managed the club before. And the one thing he's going to have to do is try and get their home form sorted out. It is an issue, Jack. They don't win loads of games at home. I've got the statistic here. They've only gone on and won two games at home in their last 13 league games played there. They've drawn 4 and lost 7. So they're really going to need to turn the home form around. I think they will, though, against Watford. I have a feeling that they'll edge it. I'm going to go with a Millwall win, Jack. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Millwall win. They play the ball forward a bit quicker now. A bit of long ball, but they'll be good from set play and stuff as well. They're a side to... I don't see them going down. I really don't. I think they're a side that will stay up. They travel in unbelievable numbers as well, don't they? Wow, I was surprised at the amount that travel with them. But I believe they'll win this one 2-1, Jack.
Yeah, they brought a new manager in at the right time, haven't they, the Lions? Neil Harris knows what it takes in this league, to be honest. In his playing days and managing them as well. Against Southampton, that were a big scout, wasn't it, Martin? To be honest, for Millwall. Like you say, the home form might not be great, but I see them picking up a win in this one, to be honest, and turning it round. I'm going to go 1-0.
Yeah, I think they'll win. Definitely get a win.
Next one, Norwich City versus Sunderland. Sunderland coming off a defeat to Swansea. Norwich have just come off a 1-1 draw to Blackburn Rovers. Both sides, still have the eye on the playoffs, don't they, Martin? Norwich a bit more closer than Sunderland at this minute in time. How do you see this one going at Carrow Road? Does Norwich have the advantage in this game, do you think? And how huge of a miss is Jack Clark going to be for Sunderland?
Massive miss. And they don't have a full-time manager neither. It's just a club that's make some funny decisions, don't they? They really do. But, I think Norwich will edge it, though. I really do. That point at Ewood Park last weekend saw Norwich extend their unbeaten run to 5 games, Jack. They've won 3, drawn 2, and they keep pace on Hull City, don't they? They keep right on their tails. I think they'll edge it, really. I think they'll have too much for Sunderland this one. Going to go with a 1-0 win. Josh Sargent has scored... let me get a statistic on Josh Sargent for you. Norwich are yet to lose this term when Josh Sargent has scored They've won 6 and drawn 3 when he's hit the net in games, mate. So Norwich fans will be hoping for a goal from Josh Sargent at the weekend. And if they do, they're probably going on and win.
Yeah, this one's a tough one for Sunderland, isn't it? Without Jack Clark, I believe he's out for 6 weeks. So, he's going to be a huge miss for them. Especially with this point of the season, Martin, when you want to go for the playoffs and that, he's been their main man throughout the whole thing. I think Norwich will win this one 2-0. What was your score, Martin? Sorry for yours.
I am going to go with... what am I going to go with? I'll go 2-1. 2-1 Norwich. I didn't give you one. I'm going to go with 2-1 Norwich.
2-1 Norwich, fair enough.
Yeah.
The next one, Martin's home park. Plymouth versus Ipswich. Plymouth, they're a bit up and down regarding results at the minute, aren't they, Martin? They can lose one week, win the next week, and then lose again, and then win again. They've started to pick up away from home, but at home, they've been quite fortunate at home this season, haven't they, Martin? They've not made it easy for any team that's gone there. They've picked up quite a few wins at home park, which is their fortress, to be honest, isn't it, Martin? And they'll look to do that against Plymouth, Ipswich. Ipswich are one of them who's on a good run of form at the minute. Plymouth, they'll look to make it an uncomfortable afternoon for Ipswich, They'll try and make it a hard afternoon. I think this one will be a good game between the two sides.
Yeah, no, I think it will be a good game. It'll be a goal fest. Ipswich score goals. Plymouth score goals. 110 goals scored by... so the visit, it says on here, so on the statistics, it says the visit promotion chasing Ipswich promises a goal fest as the 110 goals scored in Plymouth's 34 championship games this season is surpassed by the visitors with 113, with both teams likely to score some goals in this one. Well, I was just trying to look at the fixture in the reverse fixture. Was it a 5-goal thriller in October? Am I right in saying that? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a 5-goal thriller. So you just never know, mate. They played each other a bit last season as well, didn't they? So they know each other really well, these two sides. I've got a funny feeling that Ipswich might edge this one.
Plymouth picked them on a title, didn't they, last season?
Yeah, Ryan Hardy, he's a bit of a handful. Was on target against Borough. Yeah, Whittaker as well. But then they've got Kefler Moore, who's doing well at Ipswich. I think there'll be goals in it. I got a funny feeling, Jack, that Plymouth might just nick something in this. I think as a Southampton and Leeds fan, we'll be hoping that they do. But I'm gonna go with a Plymouth win. I'm gonna go with a 3-2 Plymouth win in this one.
2 players out for Ipswich. 3-2 Ipswich. You're going 3-2 to Plymouth, yeah, Martin?
Yeah, I am, mate.
I'm going 2-2. I'm going for a draw. Yeah.
2-2.
Next one then, playoff chasers is what this game is. Preston North End on form. Hull, they're doing well as well. Two sides who eye that playoff spot at the end of the season. How do you see this one going at Deepdale? Preston have really picked up under Ryan Lowe, Martin. I believe they're unbeaten in the last 6. How do you see them faring against Hull?
I think it'd be a good game. I think it's got draw written all over it, I think. But Hull are a good side. They'll be well organised. But like you say, Preston have found some really good form. They were really good against Saints Hull. Maybe just the way that Southampton play and they were able to press us. Don't think it'd be a totally different game, this one. I see Preston giving them a good game. I'm going to go with 2-2, Jack, in this. 2-2. I don't think that they beat them heavily by any stretch of the imagination. I think they're running really close. Hot streak. Hull's last 6 championship wins have all been by a 1-goal margin. So if they do win, it'd be by a 1-goal margin you would expect. But I quite like Fabio Carvalho. What a strike by him last weekend, by the way. Absolute bullet. Did you see the goal? Unbelievable. Yeah. Really, really good. Really good.
So what are you going for, Martin, in this one?
2-2. Going to go with a 2-2 draw in this one.
2-2. I'm going 2-1 Preston. I'm gonna go. That be my surprise result. I mean, I said to Ant yesterday. I said, "What's your form like at Preston?" He said, "It's okay." I said, "Right." I
Mm.
said, "No." I said, "Every time whole play now, I'm gonna ask you how you get onto these grounds." I said, "I don't want to sit there and predict a result and it's your bogey ground or something."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think it'll be a tight game, like you say. Both teams haven't conceded many goals, have they, in the games that they've played recently?
No.
Right, Martin. The next one is. Let me just write this down. Um, South Yorkshire Derby, and it's at the New York Stadium. Rotherham United versus Sheffield Wednesday,
Mm.
and yeah, this one's a relegation
A
battle game in it.
7.6 mile journey for Sheffield Wednesday, Jack. Not very far to travel, is it?
Yeah, when you talk to Terry, who's a Rotherham fan, I don't like Sheffield Wednesday, so
No.
I guess that makes it a more important game than it, Martin. If you're a Rotherham fan,
Mm. Sheffield Wednesday, 3 points from safety as well. God, he's done a job there in
you
Danny
you
Role.
you wouldn't have said that if I had started at the start of the season, though, would you, Martin?
No, yeah, he's done unbelievable. Since taking over at Hillsborough, Wednesday, did they have 3 points from 11 games when he took charge? I'm just reading it now. 34-year-old manager, he's done an incredible job. He will go on and get a job at the highest level eventually when he's going to go on and be a really good manager, this guy. And he's done an incredible job. You know, if he saved them from relegation, could be like manager of the season, wouldn't it? It would be an incredible turnaround.
Yeah, I think this will be a good game in the South
Yeah, I
Yorkshire
do.
Derby. Rotherham, I mean, a win don't really change much for them as such at this minute in time. Sheffield Wednesday, 3 big points. I mean, that puts real pressure on the others again. Sheffield Wednesday are on some good good winning formulas, aren't they, under Danny Rowe? They'll look to back up that result against Bristol City from the 2-1 win. I back Sheffield Wednesday in this one to go and get an away
Yeah.
win at Rotherham.
Yeah,
Ugbo,
they've not lost in seven
he
against
scored
them, by
quite a
the way.
few.
Yeah, they've not lost in seven either against Rotherham as well, Sheffield Wednesday.
I'm going 2-1 Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 3-0 Sheffield Wednesday. I think they beat them and beat them comfortably.
3-0. Yeah. It's going to be a tight game, both sides, the South Yorkshire Derby and all that, It's about bragging rights, isn't it, Martin, when you talk to both set of fans? Um,
Mm.
but yeah, let's get on to the next one. Stoke City versus Middlesbrough. How
Yeah.
do you see this one going?
Well, Stoke are unbeaten in 17 of their last 19 home head-to-heads with Stoke. They've won 10. And Middlesbrough, sorry, they've won 10 and drawn 7 with Middlesbrough. So, yeah, they've got a good history against them, but history doesn't mean anything when you go into these games. We've had loads of history against sides coming down here on the south coast, and it
Yeah,
usually it's gone out. It's gone out the window. Stoke need a win massively, don't they? They're like we said, they're in the relegation zone. They're in a right mess, but the atmosphere, they say, has turned pretty sour up there. Yeah, it's a big defeat last weekend, losing to Cardiff. 2-1, wasn't it? Big defeat. He's under fire, I reckon, the boss, Stephen Schumacher, already. Fans are feeling very negative about what way things are going. Yeah, I don't see Stoke getting anything. I think Middlesbrough beat them. They beat them comfortably. I'm going to go with a 3-0 Middlesbrough win. They got about bounce back from last weekend as well, Middlesbrough. So, yeah, I do fancy them to win this one.
yeah, I'm gonna go 3-0 as well. No, 2-0. 2-0 what I'm going for. You're going 3-0.
Going
Yeah,
3-0.
Stoke are on a poor run of form, aren't they? They're in the relegation zone, aren't they? I believe they're 22nd. So
Mm.
huge pressure on Stoke's shoulders now with Stephen Schumacher. He's got to save them, man. If he doesn't, then you know
Game over. Yeah, be gone.
it looks like it. Um,
Strange move though, Jack. Really, he's gone from. I know he wanted to go back north, but he had a really good thing going down at Plymouth, and would have been a
yeah,
hero to keep them in the division. They look like they will stay in the league, but yeah, I always thought it was a bit of a strange move, really, when he was doing such an amazing job at Plymouth. Maybe just seeing the season out, but yeah, it was a bit of a sinking ship, wasn't it? Stoke, they was just struggling. I thought he would have turned it round. I really did, but still the same group of players, isn't it?
Yeah, Carl, that's it, mate. When someone knocks the door, the dog goes barking.
Yep.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
it's my dog downstairs. Yeah, I'll leave her for about 20 minutes to do this. Give her a food and that, and she's all right. As soon as the door knocks, that's it. She's off. Not having none of it. Last one, Martin. Swansea versus Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn, positives to take out the Newcastle defeat, but that performance you'd have expected all season long from Blackburn in the Championship instead of doing it in the Cup against Newcastle. This one is a tough game. Swansea have just picked up a big win over Sunderland. Blackburn, not in the greatest of form, to be honest. Struggling to score goals in the Championship. The new manager's gone in there as well. That's going to take time to settle in with his style of football and that. How do you see it going at the Swansea.com stadium, Martin?
Well, they're not a great side, Swansea. From when I've seen them, they've got snowballed by a few sides. It was a rocky start for Luke Williams there. Maybe he's just started to settle it down. It was a good result last week for them, wasn't it? It was a really good result for them. Against it was Sunderland. They beat Sunderland, didn't they? It was a surprise win as well. And it might just give them a bit of belief to go and kick it on. But I thought Blackburn were really good in midweek against Newcastle. I thought it made a really good account of themselves. And that give them confidence under Eustace. He's drawn 4, lost 1 since he's become the manager. I fancy them to go down there and get a result as well. Looking at recent record, though, Blackburn have won only 3 of the last 11 head-to-heads against Swansea. They've drawn 4, lost 4 as well. So Rovers have been in a bit of a rut, haven't they? But I do fancy them. I do fancy John Eustace to turn them around. I think they'll be fine. I don't think they get relegated, in my opinion. Going to go with a Blackburn win, mate, actually, down there. I think Blackburn turn them over. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Blackburn Rovers.
We're both need 3 points, but I'm going to say we're taking them to the cleaners, Jack. Well, never speak too soon, Katie. That's what I learned in football. I tell you what, I'm going to go 2-1 Blackburn.
I didn't even realise Katie was in the chat then until I just saw her pop up.
I'll back on with a Smodics double. What did you go for, Martin?
I'm going to go with the Blackburn win, 2-1. I think they win this one for me.
2-1. That is it. And that's all the predictions done then for the weekend. Thank you, Bob. Guys, thanks for getting involved. Really appreciate it. Thanks for getting involved and getting all your comments in the comment section about the predictions and that. Martin, thank you to you for coming on and giving us all your stats and getting involved as well and talking all things in football and the Championship. It's good. One thing I'm going to ask you, Martin, though, before I let you go, let everybody know where they can find you, Martin. Plug your channel, mate, and your socials.
I'm a bit of a TikToker, really, so do a lot of TikTok content at footballmartin _ on TikTok. Same on YouTube as well, doing loads of match day vlogs. So looking to speak to all the home fans, but when I'm down at St Mary's, but I want to speak to away fans as well. So I want to get to the heartbeat of every fan base and try and get a feeling of around each game. There's a possibly can score predictions like you do and just have good banter with the fans and meet loads of new people. So yeah, give me a follow. Southampton content, but a bit of EFL content as well, especially on the run-in, doing predictions on videos on different games that are sort of like highlights. So yeah, I'd like to get people involved. Loads of TikTok lives as well. So I'm always live in and around games before and after. So yeah, give me a follow.
Yeah, Michael, Jack, loving your food vlogs. Which is your best food on your travels covering Leicester City? Well, I gave Leeds United a 10, which was Gravely's Chippy, just over off Mellon Road. So regarding
they do chips well in Leeds, don't they, Jack? Apparently, they do chips well there.
Oh, the Yorkshire's best when it comes to fish and chips. Apparently, Yorkshire. So it was a big one where Leeds fans wanted me to go. I gave it a shot, and I gave it a solid 10. if I'm going for burger-wise, I'm going to have to go with Blackburn Rovers' brisket burger, which were very nice. I think I gave that a solid 9 point summit, which were very good. But no, I'm glad you actually enjoyed the away day food reviews, Michael. I do appreciate all the support on it, mate. Here right now, if we win, I'm going to send you both £10 to spend at your match day next week. Do you know what, Martin? We're going to roll it to that, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think they will win, though. I think you will win. Chloe's a great girl, by the way. She's a Southampton Ball girl. She often comes on my channel. She travels to watch Southampton home and away. Really good follower. Thanks for watching, Chloe.
Martin, thanks for coming on, pal.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Best wishes.
Cheers, mate. All the best. That was Football Martin. Thank you to you guys for getting involved. If you've enjoyed the stream, hit the like button. Head over to the Final Whistle. Subscribe to the channel as well. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed to us, please do so. What is coming up on the Final Whistle next? We've got the match preview tomorrow night as Leicester City take on Queen's Park Rangers. We may have a QPR fan coming on to chat all things ahead of the game. Leicester versus QPR should be a good chat. But no, thank you for watching. Take care. Exactly. But no, really appreciate it. See you again soon. And keep it here, the Final Whistle. Good night. Take care. Hi all, thank you for watching the Final Whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share and subscribe to the channel.